Hi, my name is Ricardo. I'm the producer on KillSquad and you are hearing the R-Rated Show. Hola, me llamo Ricardo Ceballos de Novarama del juego KillSquad y estáis escuchando The R-Rated Show.
And hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the BAMS's Rated R Show. It's episode 173. And as always, my name is Reisenberg, you can call me G, and we have a little interview this week. But first off, Mr. Drac.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, or whatever time it might be when you're listening to this. Yes, as G says, we have our interview segment today, and with us we have Ricardo Ceballos from KillSquad.
Hi everybody, yeah. I'm live from Spain, Barcelona. My name is Ricardo Ceballos. I'm the producer on KillSquad, which is a new action RPG that we've launched of early access on Steam last July.
Oh man, Ricardo, you're starting out by making me jealous. I want to be in Barcelona right now. Well, perhaps a little bit later in the year, a month or two from now.
Yeah, you should come, but it's really, really warm here, so unless you're on the beach having a caipirinha, I wouldn't recommend of coming.
Yeah, September works well.
Excellent. Yeah.
I think my family and I got to go there about 3 years ago, and it was around September time frame, I think, when we went. Really nice. A lot of really beautiful sights to see there.
Yeah, it's a very beautiful city. Like architecture-wise and planning-wise, it's a really amazing city to live and to visit.
Oh, and we're supposed to talk about the game, by the way. Yes, KillSquad. As you said, an action RPG. But I think it's a little bit different than many others. Like, if we take Diablo, I think that's sort of the standard bearer in this genre. You've gone a little bit a different route with this one.
Yes, we've done a mixture, because we've taken the elements of the games that we like and then combined to create a whole new experience. Normally actions RPG, you have a story and a lore, and then you follow it through, and then you level up your character and customize it. And if you want to try something different, you have to start from the beginning and grind yourself to, like, I don't know, level 70 or 80 and do it all over again. What we've done is we wanted to create more of, take the best elements of the action RPG, and then we've combined it with the level up of a MOBA. You know, in each session you basically level your hero up, and then you, at the end of the session, you unlock the ultimate. So we've done similar the same. We got quite a good reception. People really like it. They like the fighting, the controls. So what it basically KillSquad is in the future, like mega corporations has taken over the universe, and they've destroyed all the planets. And you're a bounty hunter who just get hired to take out certain tasks. You know, escort vehicles, protect areas from different kind of enemies, kill bosses are disturbing the planets, interfering with these mega corporations. And then basically you go in, you select a different type of, currently we have 4, and then you just jump in and then you do a contract and you get some credits, which is what we have, the in-game currency, and then you buy better weapons and you basically level up, and then you repeat different contracts again. So yeah, that's basically KillSquad in a nutshell.
Oh wow, a lot of things there to unpack. Firstly, so the level resets every time. You start always from level 0 or 1 and then make it up until you unlock your ultimate, kill the boss, and then next round you start again from 0 or 1. But in between you can still upgrade your character, you can get better weapons that carry over between missions.
Yes, you basically, what we have outside this currently, like level up, it's like a vector system. The vector basically is the number of how high and powerful weapons and gear you have. So you can get this from the shop, and then you can change them, and you can also get like in-level resources like crystals and metal scrap, and you can upgrade the weapons that you have as well. So it's more like towards weapon and gear system for leveling up overall and getting into harder missions. But like I said, the skill tree resets every time you go into a new contract, and that gives you flexibility, because if you know your character really good, you know which set of different type of upgrades and ultimates you're going to use for that particular mission. So it gives you strategy as well on that level.
Okay, that sounds a little bit Destiny light level-ish.
Yeah, we took inspiration from Destiny to some extent, yes.
Not a bad source of inspiration.
No. We like basically we looked at all the games that we really like to play and say, what would be great to have a new experience, So we use different inspirations, and of course we got inspiration also from Star Wars and 80s movies as well to do the aesthetics and how we wanted to create the different characters and levels and worlds. So we just combining everything. Of course, we have like more than 10 years experience building fun games, and that's what we're doing right now, creating a whole new experience for a top-down action RPG game.
So you said you guys have more than 10 years experience. How did you get into making video games?
Novarama as a company started in 2002, and they've done, more than 17 years of game development. They are Barcelona's independent studio. And then at the beginning they did PC games, and then they had the opportunity to start doing augmented reality, and then they went on to work for Sony as a third-party exclusive for the PlayStation Portable and the PlayStation Vita, and also the PlayStation 3 games with the IP called the Invisimals, which we used to hunt little monsters around your house with the PSP, and then you can level them up and fight with other players. So it was really quite a successful IP. Until, of course, the downfall of the PSP and PS Vita that we know, when mobile gaming came along, and then the market changed radically. And then the relationship with Sony ended amicably, and we just moved on to do other stuff. And now we've ventured basically into the indie sphere of game development. So it's really exciting. It's completely different than we expected. Normally when you're a developer working for Sony, they take care of all the big machinery as is when you launch the game. And now we do the development, and we also do the marketing, and we do the promotion of the game, and of course have a big community in Discord and in the forums, and keeping that alive and seeing what people are saying about the game as well. So it's a very new, interesting adventure for Novarama, yes.
A lot more hats to wear, so to speak. So what size is the development team? Like how many people make up the company?
The company in total, we're around 25 people now. We're hiring more people as we speak, but the core team is, I think I have currently 6 programmers plus the lead, and then I have a group of artists, around 5, and then 2 animators and 1 game designer, and myself, the producer. So that's the whole KillSquad team.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, and you mentioned working on things for like PS Vita and whatnot. How has working on KillSquad been different? Aside from, obviously the AR aspects, but how has working on this game been different from previous titles?
Well, when you have like the PS Vita, we had our own engine and our own technology, so you had to have at least a team to support that. Right now, we're using Unreal, which is a powerful engine, as you guys know. You're allowed to do everything there, so we save a lot of time in the development tools to make the game. And we just go back direct into prototyping. So you can prototype as much as you want and throw things out, and you have time to spare because you're not building the technology. Before, you have to know exactly what you were doing. You can also do prototyping, but if you want to build something new, try something different, you have to build a whole toolset for it. And now it's just really fast iterations of the game, and we see what will work, what doesn't work, and with a smaller team, we can accomplish even more and have a higher quality. So I think that's the core thing, the issue that's surrounding the development of KillSquad at this point, yeah.
And so at this point, or at least at the point when this airs, you guys will have had KillSquad out for about a month in early access. And just out of curiosity, I wondered why releasing into early access instead of still waiting until full release when it was completely done.
We believe that we were kind of in a position ready to show the game and see what the community says about it, because we're trying something new. So I think it's minimizing risk, because we've spent so much money and time on it and work on it. We wanted to validate that idea with the community, because you might spend 1 more year developing the game completely, then take it out and nobody likes it. And at the same time, we would like to hear what the people that play this kind of it really are looking for and like. So we had a really positive feedback from everybody. Like, everybody loves the core gameplay. Everybody complains now about content, but that's what we're making because the game is actually not finished. It has the bare bones on it. and there's a lot of subsystems that are coming up. We're taking a lot of feedback from the community of what they want and where they want to take the game to, and we're incorporating all of that into our plans. So it's been really rewarding as well to see the game out there in a very early stage and have such huge positive response from the community.
When you say there's limited content, which, again, it's early access, that makes sense. Looking in the game, there's 4 heroes, or are they hero types? Is that one of those areas where you're looking to extend?
Yes, we want to extend. We want to have a bigger roster of heroes, of course. We want to have more worlds. Currently, we only have 3 worlds. We want to have many more worlds. We have to have more bosses. We want to have more mission types. There's so many things that are coming. You have medals after each contract. Then you have your badges and your profile screen. So all of this, we're adding new game modes, new worlds. There's a Colosseum mode now, once you battle big bosses as well there. In this futuristic kind of Roman Colosseum kind of a scenario. So that's actually what's coming up. And then we will have all the game modes as well, so we just really want to expand it. We know that now the core gameplay is fun and it works and it plays. Now we have to build around it to make it even a better experience.
So can you sort of tell anything about what heroes you're looking to make, or what kind of heroes people should be expecting?
Yes, we're going to unveil the upcoming one. I cannot disclose now, on Gamescom, so that's going to be like the big reveal. So we're going to announce it while we're there to promote the game. But yeah, we have the one that's already in the pipeline and the other one is coming. And yeah, currently with the roster that we have, basically we have like 2 DPS, 1 tank and 1 support. So we like that kind of strategy because it's meant to play as a co-op. So that's like the perfect team, to have 1 tank and 2 DPS and 1. So we're gonna work around those areas to have like the classes that come out also complement each other, so the co-op experience remains quite good. Although you can also play solo, but we want to support more co-op experience while you play KillSquad.
Nice, and for people wondering when that will be, Gamescom is in a week from now, so at least if you listen to it just on release day here. So just wait a week and there'll be another hero. Nice. So the setting, you mentioned a little bit that things have gone bad. Is a little bit of a tragedy of the commons. The worlds have pretty much been beaten down.
Yeah, we're working on we were trying to incorporate the lore into the game, so that's another feature that's coming up as well, because we don't have a direct storyline per se. So we're looking to more environmental storytelling and to people find out who is who and what role there is. So it's all in the plans right now. And we wanna, basically the setting is this dreadful kind of mega corporations settings that, they go after each other, kind of like a huge interstellar mafia of some sorts. So that's the idea. And then the alliances as well that go inside. There's another faction which is the Federation. We call it Federation Police. That's like the current name, but once we work it out, we're gonna get another one. And this is like another faction within those. So we are building the lore and the world of KillSquad around that. Yeah.
Ricardo, are we the baddies?
We don't know. You have to play the game to find out. Maybe you are. Dropping into a planet and destroying every life form there and just getting out.
Oh man, now I'm trying to think of what that movie was. I'm not bad, I'm not good. I'm just the guy with the gun.
So so this is not the first game that I work on. It's like that. I worked on Spec Ops: The Line, which was a 2K game that came out in around 2012. That was the same thing, that you were the bad guy going into it. I don't know if you guys know about it or heard it.
Yeah, I've played it.
You played it, yeah. So I work on that game as well in the production. So it's like history repeating itself. So you're not gonna get about mega corporations, who's the good guy, who's the bad guy. You don't know, it's just there to have some fun.
Well, and you mentioned working on putting lore or how you're going to incorporate lore into the game. Are you guys looking at adding some kind of cooperative story campaign at some point, or not sure yet?
Campaign per se, we don't know yet. That's still to decide. But right now we want to do storytelling, yes, in the way of environmental. Like you find different kind of items that tell you what happened there. and what's been going on in the planets that you visit and the place that you visit. That's what we're looking at right now. Campaign per se, there's no point, because we wanted to have this co-op kind of gameplay setup that we currently have. We want to support that as well. So having a campaign would be kind of intrusive instead of having more support of the co-op.
Well, I was thinking cooperative play through the storyline, but actually that leads me to another question that I wanted to ask. I love that it has co-op because I always love playing stuff like this at our LAN sessions, but why did you guys choose co-op over single player?
We got the inspiration from Left 4 Dead because we love that game. So Left 4 Dead basically, I assume you guys played it where you were with your war friends trying to survive this crazy level full with zombies, and you need to support each other. And we haven't seen that. Like I think Diablo has some co-op and some missions that you can play with friends who are online. But for us, it's the storyline. So it's the campaign. You go through the whole story, and then you have to go through the cathedral and the rest and all the different levels. Here is you just jump into short sessions of 15-20 minutes. You get to a place, and then you fulfill the mission and you get out. And then you can meet other players as well in the game too, or on your same level, and basically can run through different missions together. So we wanted to encourage that in a sense.
Okay, so you're targeting for folks that maybe don't have a lot of time to put into a story campaign, but want to sit down and play a few quick matches.
Exactly. So you get to level up, you get your story, you know the world, you get to improve your hero, and then if you have 20 minutes, 30 minutes, next time you can sit down again, or you can play for 4 or 6 hours and go through all the missions as well. So we want to give that flexibility to the player, that you don't have to commit like so much and grind to go ahead, to just enjoy the game itself.
Sorry. Gotta remember where the push to talk is. Then, Ricardo, how much of the content, the levels, is procedural? How much is handmade? Because if there is a certain amount of missions, are they set up manually, or does the computer sort of generate missions?
The computer generates everything. Like everything there is procedural. All the events. Like we've done the worlds, and they're made in 2 pieces, and the pieces come together. So we have like a lot of pieces, and then every time you go into a mission, you start it, you land. All the level is made out of these different pieces. All the events that go in, like you have like meteor showers. You have a laser from the Federation Police just trying to destroy you from space. You have minefields. So all these different events are also random and generated, and as well the spawning of the enemies also are their place, but they're also generated procedurally. So every time you place, although you play the same mission, it's a different level, it's a different experience. You don't know what to expect. So that's how we build it.
Good. Yeah, it's nice that you can sort of go back to the same mission and it looks different the second time around.
Yeah, otherwise, currently we've done that, but people still think it's repetitive because we lack content and we're working on that. But yes, so we try to make it so everything is procedural and doesn't repeat as much as possible.
Oh yeah, as I said, it makes sense that at this stage the game is out, a month now, in early access, so content will be coming.
Exactly. We're working hard on it right now.
Oh, you're sweating hard, given how weather's.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are sweating hard. Yeah, we're handling all the production and making everything is deliver on time. So we are really pushing it.
So I gotta ask, because we touched on the whole early access, do you have an idea for when the game will be in the famous 1.0 release, the actual release?
We're hoping by the end of the year. That was our initial plan. But we need to see.
That's fairly aggressive.
Yeah, we thought 6 more months of development to put everything together. But maybe it might extend to a year. We don't know yet. And we want to work with the community as well as we progress with all the update and the content. But yeah, we want to be really aggressive on that end. And then the game is not free to play, and it's not microtransactions because we don't like that. So we're gonna do just until we reach 1.0 for all the early access backers. We're gonna give the game everything that we put for free, of course. And then once the game is 1.0 and then we start making more stuff, it will be just DLCs that we'll release. So that's what we want to set up for this game.
Oh, nice. You're avoiding those surprise mechanics, as some other company likes to call them.
Yeah, no loot boxes, please. Oh god, no. When you get a sticker after you grind like 5 hours of the game, it's like, Jesus, no.
Good man, good man.
Yeah, for all the gamers out there listening, thank you.
Yeah, we don't think that loot boxes or getting a skin or have to pay like $5 or 5 quids or €5 like every single other day is just not good for the players. So we just want to be old-fashioned in that sense. You get the whole game there and then you get the extra afterwards. It's like now you feel like they sell you the game piece by piece to some extent, which is crazy.
Yeah. Well, and then just to clarify that too, because I know that there's an in-game economy, things that you, like tokens that you earn as you're doing these different contracts and stuff like that. There's not going to be a way to purchase those tokens with real money, if that's right.
Yeah, no real money.
Yeah, so everything you do, you earn in-game. That's cool.
Yeah, and you spend in-game as well.
So, you talk about working with the community. Has there been any feedback in particular from the community that's caught you by surprise that still ended up being very helpful?
Yes, we are working with them of definitely like so many requests, of course. No, I want the game to have this. I want the game to have a campaign and some things that we know we wouldn't want to do because the game is what it is and it works and we like it. But there's some other people that are like sending the thoughts of how the heroes work and how we can improve that. So that's fantastic. Then all the feedback that we've got, because it's early access and they help us also test the game. So we fix a lot of bugs that we couldn't have done before just doing internally. So that helped a lot. And we're talking them actively on Discord. So if you want to buy the game and download it, we know we have like a lot of very interested active community members that are talking about the game. So we have long discussions on what we want to create, and we're taking that into consideration in creating new worlds and new heroes. So it's very collaborative, and it's very, very interesting and fun.
When I think I saw something, I think it was right after, or maybe shortly after you guys released into early access, you added the customized key mapping. On PC, I'm a big supporter of any game that comes out having that, just because the fact that you got right-handed, left-handed people using different keys, and there's a variety of other reasons for that. When you guys added that, is there also a function almost like an auto run feature where you can hold down a key to have the character like follow around wherever you're pointing the mouse, or no?
Like the standard ARPG, like when you click a mouse?
Well, yeah, no, the standard where you point and click and then they run to that location, but in a lot there's like a quality of life type edition where maybe there's a key on the keyboard you can hold down, and then wherever the mouse cursor is, the character will run to that.
Yeah, no, that's the standard like action RPG. No, we are like more like of an arcade control. So for keyboard and mouse, you aim you aim the attack with the mouse and then you move with AWSD. But it's meant to be played with a gamepad. That's what you get the most experience from. But you can also play with the keyboard. I play with the keyboard all the time.
Oh, you just broke Drax's heart.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Drax.
Yeah, no, it's stuff like this. I'll usually play keyboard and mouse. I won't play with the gamepad. But I know too that a couple of guys in the LAN session that I play with, they play the same way. They'll play with keyboard and mouse versus a controller. And a lot of times a top-down game like this, that's one of the features that they'll look for, is so that they can just, instead of constantly moving the character around with the keys on the keyboard, they can just hold down a key and then the character runs towards wherever they're pointing the mouse.
Yeah, but the thing is, when you get attacked, we tell you which part of the terrain that you're gonna get damage. So the controls are things, so you are always on the move. But if you stand still, you die, basically, in the higher levels.
Ah, okay.
You always have to be moving. So that's why we use the gamepad and the WSD on the keyboard to move. And because if you will have the click and point, it would be just so slow for the characters to move around and avoid getting hit.
Okay.
That's the logic behind it.
And then you mentioned before about the skills reset, that the equipment carries over. So do you pick up equipment as you run through the levels and then also have the ability to buy it through the store, or are you just earning experience and then contracts pay out and then you just purchase the equipment in store?
Currently, for the early access, which is kind of like an alpha build, we are basically, you get all the resources and money and then you go buy in the shop. But eventually we will have drops, yes. We plan to have drops within the game in the future. So we're working on all of that right now.
Okay, and the different types of equipment and weaponry, is it got different stats, or is there a reason to go and maybe try to collect the equipment, or is it, this sword always has the same abilities?
It has the same abilities, that's sword, but you can also upgrade it 1 or 2 times depending on the resources material you've collected in the levels, and have different stats on it.
Ah, okay. Is there already or any plans to add any kind of crafting system into the game?
We're talking about it, but nothing has been decided, but yeah, it's something that we're contemplating in the future, yes.
And when you can upgrade them, is that a little bit to drive a player to choose a playstyle? So you can choose more range on your weapons, or more damage, or more shield, etc., and have that augment your specific playstyle?
Yes, so you can select which you want. If you're more defensive or you're more aggressive in your gameplay, you can modify that, yeah, and change, and then reselect and then modify weapons and buy them from the shop, yeah.
Okay, well then I know that if there's options to just add ammo to the players, Bam is gonna like it, our colleague. That's the only thing he ever upgrades. More ammo.
Well, you have a limited ammo in our game, so you don't need more ammo.
Yeah, I think I saw there was some heat mechanics, so you couldn't just keep shooting.
Yeah, well, you have the cooldown, yes, from the different types of special movements in Ultimate. But the standard attack is yeah, you have unlimited ammo.
Okay. Well, that's always good. I mean, some games it gets annoying when you run out of ammo and you go, ah, shit.
Yeah. You have to reload. But that's, I think that that's the first-person shooters. Those are the ones. I don't think any action-type RPG has ammo to reload. You have like mana, perhaps, but we don't have those kind of. We all have life, and you have the dodges because you can dodge as well within the game. But we don't have any kind of mana recording for any weapons.
I'm gonna do a faux pas and actually mention one. Because normally we avoid mentioning the names of other games in the same genre. Grimshade, I think, has an ammo mechanic. I might be remembering wrong.
Well, I will check it out and see.
You should. I think Drax's been enjoying it. It's not a bad game. It's quite nice. It's stylistically, it's a top-down ARPG, but it's very different from yours, I would say.
That's interesting. Yeah. What was the name of the game again?
Grimshade, I think it was. Drag, remind me, is that the one I'm thinking of?
I don't know if it's the one you're thinking of, but yeah, we have looked at that one.
Yes, thanks.
Well, still haven't worked on the ability to read that mind.
Love you too, Drag.
Oh, it came out recently as well. Interesting. Yeah, I'll check it out, guys. Thank you for the tip.
Oh, it's all about sharing the love of gaming, isn't it? Play all the games,
yeah.
All of them. Although with 9,000 releasing last year, have fun with that.
You have to review them all and play them all. Oh my god, how much time do you need to do that?
Well, you have 365 days in a year. There's 9,000 games or titles released last year. Just divide them, a couple of minutes each.
That sounds like a plan, yeah. I need to do the math on that.
Well, if it's okay for me to ask, since you guys have mentioned, using the Unreal Engine, one of the things I was a little bit curious about, and a lot of indie devs have been taking deals from the Epic Store, and going Epic exclusive. Was that something that you guys ever considered doing, or why did you choose to go with Steam?
It was because the Epic Store right now, currently, they don't support multiplayer gaming. So as we are like a peer-to-peer multiplayer. So people play with other people, but one of them is the host. We chose that because it was the best way for us to set up and scale eventually, than to have dedicated servers at this time of development. Maybe that in the future will change. We don't know yet, depending on how big the community grows. But Steam supports these. They have their own code to support peer-to-peer connectivity, and that was amazing for us. So we went ahead with Steam, and they also have a bigger like install base than the Epic Store. Although the Epic Store has been growing for Fortnite, but yeah, we don't know. In the future, we might go on to other platforms. We know we want to go also at PlayStation 4 and Xbox One to support it. I'm dreaming of going on to Switch because I think it would be a perfect game for Switch.
Very much, very much.
Yeah, but we don't know if the hardware of the Switch will support like all the graphics and particles, and because everything on our game is 3D, like everything, and you know the Switch lacks a little bit of power in that sense to keep the game running at 60 frames a second. So maybe we will be in the Epic Store in the future. We don't know yet. So it depends what they say and what happens with the game. So it's like a lot of variables going around now. But we're excited about the future and the plans of the game. Like the community received it so well, and we'll continue going to be building and getting out there, getting more content and making it more fun. So we're on that path right now.
Well, you mentioned different platforms. Have you guys considered Mac and Linux at all, or not yet?
Oof. But well, Mac per se has never been like the gamers' target device for gaming. No, Linux is more like a niche for programmers, I guess, and people in IT. Most of the users are on PC gamers. So maybe in the future, if we have a request to port it on Mac and Linux, we'll do it. I don't think it would be that hard, but we don't know. Maybe, yeah.
Ricardo, you're killing me.
Why? I'm telling the truth, mate. The truth can be funny sometimes.
I know the stats. They are, they do very much support what you're saying. But it's not a secret. I use Mac and PS4.
Oh, cool. But the PS4 more for gaming and Mac more for your stuff, right?
Yeah, except I love sim games. So, and a fair amount of sim games are available on the Mac. So I actually do play somewhat on the Mac. But for games like this, I would probably pick up the PS4. Or genuinely, this is something that goes, in my opinion, perfectly on the Switch. But PS4 controller for an ARPG, definitely.
Yeah, that was an idea to have on the console, yeah. But maybe, you don't know, maybe in the future we'll support Mac as well. Although in their studio they're very reticent of the Mac, our team especially. They're all like gamers and really PC freaks. So I don't think they will, if I suggest that, they will look at me with good eyes and say, oh yeah, we're gonna do it. But I could ask, there's always a chance there.
Yeah, you're basically telling us it's a studio full of PC master races.
Exactly.
Gee, if you could only see the grin on my face right now.
Yeah, if I could only reach through and slap it off your face. Sorry, it's a point of contention.
Yeah, exactly.
I would say, just before anybody gets uppity about it, the stats are a little bit off when it comes to particularly Linux gaming, because Valve actually does a lot of work on letting Windows games run on Linux. It's a little library called Wine that they've adopted and put into Steam Player. So quite a lot. I think there are something like 5,000 games on Steam have been tested to work that are Windows only but runs on Linux when done by Steam.
Oh, that's pretty interesting. I didn't know about that.
It released, I think, last summer. And it's not something they've been loud about because, again, the Linux install base is about 2% of their full install base.
Cool, I'll check it out and see. That sounds very interesting.
But I know in Unreal you can just choose the build target. It's somewhat easy, but it's a nightmare then to test and support. It's not the releasing it that's the headache, it's all the other stuff.
Yeah, depends. The platforms can tend to be so tricky. Like you need to optimize for each of them, and memory allocation and all of this, and do all the changes. So yeah, going from platform to platform is not very easy, and then you have to dedicate like 3 or 4 months, 2 or 3 people, just to get it working on that system. So yeah, we'll see which platforms we end up going, but console for sure. And let's see what the future takes us.
Something I'm curious about. Drax kind of poked a little bit about why co-op and not single player, but I want to go the other way. Why co-op and not, for example, asymmetrical PvP?
PvP. Ooh, you mentioned PvP. Yeah, we did some of the PvP prototyping internally using the engine in the heroes, but it's a different kind of game of what we wanted. We wanted PvE co-op experience, and I think to some degree with the battle and everything, I think we nailed it. If we do a PvP game, which we love to do, I think we'll start from scratch and make another game out of it.
Fair enough. Yeah, I see some with this kind of gameplay that you had, that asymmetrical, i.e., let's say 4-player KillSquad versus 1 player that plays all the aliens. That some have had some success with it. It's not an easy thing to make, but it's always fun to see.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Well, and I'm glad you brought that up, G, because when we were talking about this earlier, I thought of a question and then forgot it. But yeah, no, when you talked about adding different game modes, that was something that came to mind when you mentioned, characters are going to be working for these different corporations that are competing against each other. I thought of a competitive mode where, you have 2 teams of 4-player co-op, each competing to get to and defeat, say, a boss and collect the contract first.
Yeah. Well, that's different type of gaming in regards of what we're doing right now with KillSquad. We might experiment with different type of game modes. That's what we're looking at right now, and see where that's heading. We have the Coliseum, which is kind of like an arena mode. So we're working on that. We try to utilize the base of our game and have a different kind of experience with it as well, so it doesn't become too repetitive and just help us expand what we have already built there. But it's interesting to see how co-op or single player is just very important key in development and basically what makes the game fun and works. But we are open to all type of suggestion for the future of the game regarding modes as well.
Drag, I genuinely thought you were about to ask him about a Battle Royale mode.
No.
Oh god, please no. It's been like since PUBG is like everybody going, Fortnite exploded. Yeah, we want to move away from that. Like that's like 2017 flavor. So we want to create the 2020 new fad in video gaming.
Ooh, then you're probably looking to implement some auto chess.
Or some microtransaction or some loot boxes.
Yeah, loot boxes. There aren't loot boxes. See, you can do this as a marketing gimmick. A couple of platforms are now requiring, or at least talking about requiring, loot boxes showing the odds of various loot. And you can just put up a big banner saying, yeah, your chance of getting this loot, 0%. Your chance of this loot, 0%, because it's always 0%. You can't get a loot box.
Maybe. Sounds fun and interesting. Yeah, we can do that. But like I said before, we don't like that kind of modernization internally of the games, and like they basically want to drain the customer to just little tiny penny out of their wallets. We don't like that, we just want to be old-fashioned and create a game. You buy the whole game, you play it, we do more content, you buy the next part, second part, you play it, you enjoyed it. So we want to go into that direction, of course.
And again, when you go out and say, I know a lot of gamers kind of sort of support this view, it's a little bit too black and white, but when you go out and say, well, here's a feed to even get into our game, you might think, what are you at now, 25 bacon tokens? And then to start saying, well, we also need, for all the little bits and pieces, we also need microtransactions. A lot of gamers resent that approach, because either you monetize via microtransactions or there's a fee for entry.
Yeah, so what there, everybody, we've been getting a couple of posts recently on different forums saying, oh, do it free to play. It's like, no. It's a different type of game, you just buy it and then you enjoy it. So yeah, and players get annoyed that, you basically, I don't think it was Star Wars that came out, Battlefront 2. So the game was fun, but you bought the game I don't know, $60 or $50, and then you had to pay inside to progress through the levels and get more content. And I was like, well, at least we know it's EA, but it was just appalling for us, to have that kind of experience, and people are complaining about that all the time.
With that one specifically, I always want to point out it's Disney and EA, because there's no way Disney didn't approve that.
Yeah, of course. And at the current state, they're going to be owning every single IP on the planet. So, yeah, we need to watch out for them.
So instead of free to play and pay for loot, you're pay to play and free to loot.
That's it. You nailed it. Actually, I'm going to steal that from you and use it in our marketing campaign. That was brilliant. Excellent.
Drac, I have a new mission for you. Go out and do marketing.
Yeah, you can. Of course, that would be amazing. Yeah, you have like good sense with coming up with witty sentences and sassy slogans together. I like it.
I have my moments, but they're few and far between.
Excellent.
Yeah, Drag, are we coming up on your mandatory question?
Well, I think Bam likes to make this your mandatory question just because you always like to grumble about asking it, but I don't mind asking. So, Ricardo, something we like to ask everyone who comes on the show, it's kind of just a break from, all of the technical stuff, and it's more of just a fun question, but what kind of bacon do you like, if you like bacon? How do you like it prepared? And what kind of beverage would you have with said bacon, be that beer, cider, whiskey, etc.?
Oh wow, like bacon?
Yeah.
There's a panceta in Spain. Do you know what that is?
I do.
Okay, so that's the part of the belly. I love that bacon because when you fry it up, it comes really thin and it becomes really crunchy when you bite it down. So that's my favorite bacon in the whole wide world. And the drink to go along with it, will be beer, of course. Weizen beer from Germany, the one that's really thick and has this really thick malt taste. I love that.
Nice. Yeah, they have, they do them several places around the U.S., and I wouldn't be surprised to find out outside the U.S. the Bacon Fest. And, man, my wife and I did that, I think it was 2 years ago. And it's like a large open park, and they have different covered areas set up right next to each other. And so every other one is some kind of bacon flavored dish, and the ones in between are different types of beer. And so you go around. We went around for like 3.5 hours before we couldn't do any more, just sampling different bacon dishes and breaking it up with different types of beer. It was great.
Yeah, there's a festival, not for bacon, but for meat in London called Meatopia. I mean, you guys heard of it? And it's just in the Tobacco Docks, which is this whole area. And then there's people from all over the world come there, and they prepare the best type of meats. And then you have this tasting throughout the day. It's just unbelievable. All the type of meat you can imagine, the different types of way of cooking it. It's really, really good. But I haven't seen a festival around bacon. It's a brilliant idea. We should organize one in Spain.
To be fair, you have a fair few food festivals in northern Spain. I mean, if you're up by Barcelona, then that whole region also, towards Zaragoza, Logroño. Yeah, there's a good option to get lots of food.
Yeah, here internally there's tradition for especially pork meat. There's jamón, which is basic. That's amazing.
Literally one of my favorite things. The whole family even. Some nice jamón ibérico.
Yeah, and different type of it. They're really expensive. That an ounce costs 20 euros or $30, and the other ones are more cheap. But yeah, bacon and
the pata negra
and jamón, pata negra, exactly. So just pleasures of life, eh?
Oh yeah, they sell it here. I'm in Brussels. They sell it in the small packages, 100 gram. It's expensive, guys. It's really good, but wow, it's expensive.
Yeah, it really is. When they export it, yeah. But it's quite good, delicious.
All right. Well, for the folks that are listening in their car at home, where can can people go to get more information on KillSquad?
Yes, so we have our Twitter account, which is at KillSquad Game, and then we'll post all the updates and our news there. We are also on Discord, so it's KillSquad as well on Discord, KillSquad Official, and then you can join us. And then on Steam, of course, if you look for KillSquad on Steam, you'll see all the game there. If you want to purchase it and download it and have a look at it, that would be good too. For you guys to check out as a point of reference, community hub as well. We're setting up our wiki now of the game too. So that lists like a lot of places that you can find us. Facebook as well, although less, and also Instagram as well. KillSquad Game.
And for good measure, I just double check. At least over here in Europe, it is $29.99 or 25 bacon tokens. So it's a good price for the game. It's not that expensive.
No, and I'm sure when we launched, we were on sale, and I presume when we do another update content upgrade, we will go on sale again. So yeah, we'll put it on your wish list and wait for it to pop out on sale, which will be very soon, and then you can get the game and play it.
Excellent. Well, for myself, Ricardo, I want to thank you for coming on with us today. We really appreciate it. And for the folks listening at home, the game is KillSquad. Looks like a lot of fun. And, like G said, really not that expensive, so really easy to get in on the game.
And from me, G, yeah, I'm loving the game. I like this top-down ARPG style. I like the whole... When you can do twin stick style, as it seems this game is, you move with one stick, you shoot with, or aim with the other. And having the upgrade throughout the missions. I think this works quite well. I'm fully behind this. Go get it.
Alright, thank you guys for having me. It's been a lot of fun and pleasure talking to you guys and chatting and laughing about all the intricacies of the game industry and the upcoming games. And thank you much for having me.
Well, thank you. Ciao, everybody.